VFL.com.au.
I just caught the end of what they're talking about VFL players making the grade. Well, I don't know if they missed one in Michael Barlow, who'll be turning out for Fremantle this weekend. A very, very good footballer.
Winner of the Fothergill Round medal a few years ago. Interesting to see Shane Savage starting on the bench for the Box Hill Hawks and Troy Selwood on the bench for the Cats. Second half of the grand final of 2013. And it was a decisive win in the ruck contest by West, but Anderson was awake to it and was able to throw the ball on his foot quickly. Takes it out to Locke. Locke goes to Duray, who kicks with his non-preferred right foot. That's a very good defensive mark by Sheringham. Falling back. He's got Corrigan up the line if he wanted him. He's going to elect to go a little bit longer than that. Who will get there? West did well. Then the handball was a bit hot for Barham. So a turnover and the opportunity on the counter-attack. Tobin had Hallahan over the top, elected not to use him, and probably should have used him because he blazed away. And instead, it was a member of the VFL Team of the Year in Matt Sully, who gave it to Brown, who's been important down the back today. Eardley and Brown collaborating down the back. And Geelong just looking to build it up slowly on the City side of the ground.
This is a bit better. They're showing a lot more patience than what they were, especially in that second quarter. I thought they were just too keen to play on at all costs, but just got to be smart about the way you bring the ball forward.
Schroeder got it from Thurlow. Contest here. Hawks with the numbers. Litherland sweeps it out wide. Langford, Duray, and now Grimley. Right on the wing on the City side of the ground. First goal important here for a bit of momentum, and it would certainly put scoreboard pressure on for the Hawks if they're able to do it. Good kick from Grimley. Tobin somehow got away from his marker. It's an awkward, wobbly kick. It just lacked a bit of purpose, and Hughes is going to be able to bring it out of defence for Geelong. Sully was the man who got it to him originally. Taylor Hunt's trying to draw someone. Goes with a little alley-oop over the top. Well done by Smets. He dances around, did very nicely. And now Smets has got a man on in the pocket. That man is Walker. Man on the mark stands at 49. He's got in the corridor, calling for it Schroeder. He's elected to go back and take the responsibility. And in the bid for distance, that's what normally happens. He's hooked it and hooked it badly.
A lot more measured way they brought the ball forward, though, Geelong. They're looking a lot more patient than what they were in that second quarter.
Duray to Simpkin to Wanganeen. Corrigan falls over. Here's Spanger, the man that Phil Cleary spoke to at half-time, talking about what a tough contest it's been. In the corridor he comes to Markeloff. By hand to Simpkin against his old team. Well done by Burberry. That was good pressure on the kick, and now he goes in for a second helping. Barham's got the football, falls to the ground. They fall on top of him. Umpire Brett Ritchie says nothing doing. Stalemate, I'll throw it in the air.
Yeah, good work there by Burberry.
And we know Phil's love with the coaches, Pete. I reckon he might have found a new love in Matt Spanger after he had a chat to him at half-time as Hawlett Smith drives it long, looking for Baffy. Stumped away from him by Cheney. It's over the line. Yes, he was very happy, Phil, weren't you, that Matt Spanger was up for a chat?
I thought he was. It was a sort of five-side yarn, wasn't it? At half-time in a big grand final, we're going to stop and sit down and have a bit of a chat, pull out the pipe.
West trying to be creative with the tap. Instead, he only found an opponent in Simpkin who's coughed it up. The pressure is there from the Cats. Hartman, his kick forward is out of bounds on the full. And another free kick. But again, much like the second term, Pete, Geelong doing all the attacking early.
And it's a bit like the end to the second quarter. It's only 4 minutes, Darren, but it's a real arm wrestle. That is a mongrel floater from Angus Litherland.
And Reece with the laugh of a man that knows what that's like.
They're not good on the fingers, those kicks, but
well, there was no one near it to try and mark it, so fortunately for him, he got the best possible result, and that was that the ball bounced out of bounds. Loudon with the left hand down to Wiles. Kick ricochets away. Anderson throws it on his right foot. Tumbling ball up to the middle. O'Brien trying to get into it. Sheringham stands tall, comes out the back door. Osborne uses the run of Isles, and he spreads the ball out to Segler. They're streaming inside the 50. Locke is screaming towards goal. He's going to go into the pocket and look for Grimley. He nearly got it at the second and third attempt, then ducked underneath the Brown tackle. Brown got hold of him. Tobin brushes the tackle. It's a touch ball. Hallahan across to Anderson. He tries to bat it down into the path of Langford. He stands up in the tackle again. Desperation from Geelong, and the advantage is going to be paid.
And it's gone very well. Look at Cheney trying to chase Bathy. We just wanted that a little bit more, did Kyle Cheney. Bathy gets dropped off in the tackle. Powerful play from the former Melbourne listed player. He finds O'Brien. Drives it long. Grimley in great position. He got a good block from his teammate. Experience from Osborne, who's first to react, and he snaps a goal.
That's a big one.
For the momentum of this game, that is huge. And you feel like as well, for the confidence of his teammates as well, Reece, because Michael Osborne has been quiet. He was so good, gave them leadership and direction last week, and now he's really involved.
But as you called, just great work by Kyle Cheney, just to really put in the big ones and put some pressure on Bathy and be able to get the ball forward. And that's what enabled Osborne to get on the end of it.
And it was a bit of a worry, the lack of pressure on Osborne. Look, he had time to have a look. Could have run around to his right, elected to run around to the left, and he has given a nice little buffer to the Box Hill Hawks.
Today, the Hawks midfield obviously working so hard that they are restricting the Geelong mids from kicking those goals that they've done all year, and they go forward again through Savage, but it's coming straight back. Lucky kick off the ground, ends up with Corrigan, who just bit a little bit too much off. And Kelly was able to swallow the defensive mark. He spreads it very wide to Mirror. He's got a man on his own at centre half back. He could go the switch as well. Chooses to go to Murphy, but he took way too long. And now it's really dangerous because it's been driven back in by Jet Buse. Tough one for Howe. Mirror brave, leading from the front again. Got back and spoiled and is able to use Litherland on the way out. His kick is superb.
And they've come out the side where they probably should have come out in the first place.
Yeah, great work again, great body work again by Kyle Cheney.
Hallahan to Savage. They're starting to get into space now. There's another example of it. O'Brien slipped his man. They got two inside the 50. In fact, he had about 3 to choose from, as it turns out. Tobin was lurking. Segler comes out and takes the mark, and the warning bells are starting to ring quite loudly for Geelong.
They certainly are, and Geelong's just all out attack at the moment. They've got to defend as well. They can't allow the Hawks to get too far in front.
Jonathan Segler, as Darren said, has played a fair bit of VFL football, some of it in the black and white stripes, and here he is in the brown and gold. This for 3 goals in as many minutes. Ooh, and it's just drifted from about 45 metres out. It was trying to get the trip, and it only just got there, but to the left-hand side of the goalpost, and so the margin is 23.
The Cats drive it long. Flying high was Loudon. Hot hand pass for Smets, who's dispossessed. Hallahan, little chip kick looking for O'Brien, who was held. Umpire said play on. Really good play in the end by Hamling. Rich Brown's had a cool head most of the day, but he's turned this one over. Osborne, it's coming straight back in. The pressure is insurmountable, you feel at the moment. The way that Box Hill are playing, and Osborne's kick is superb. Retzlaff grabs it.
Yeah, just summed it up well then, Osborne. Good experience, didn't rush the kick. Waited till Retzlaff was on the lead, and his disposal is superb, Osborne.
Still feel like Michael Osborne has quite a lot to offer. He's played 168 AFL games.
You just wonder at his age whether there is much left.
Retzlaff kicks it across the face. Is it out on the full? No, it's spoilt across the line. It'll be thrown in as the fans watch on, and the Cats bench do as well. They trail by 23.
They need a goal to stem the flow. West in the front spot. It's down the wrong end for the Cats at the moment. Segler trying to bust his way through. Looks for Hallahan. Savage gets in there and has an impact. Schroeder is there as well. Well done by Stringer. He runs into a brick wall in the shape of Wanganeen, who did very well. Went back in and fetched it, and then came up with a little chip pass to Murphy. What outstanding stuff that was by Derek Wanganeen.
Terrific work.
He's played on. And, well, you would have thought 35 metres out from goal he would have been happy enough, but as it turns out, he's going to be okay because it's going to be Luke Loudon who's going to have the shot for goal.
But just great work. I mean, the Wanganeen just had to keep his body in line with the player, and at times in footy matches, you've got to put your body on the line for your team. That's what Wanganeen did on that occasion. Terrifically.
Loudon kicked the second goal of the match. And he poked at it. Absolutely poked at it. Didn't kick through the football. I wonder if we're going to talk about those opportunities, first from Retzlaff and then from Loudon, to really make the task so much more difficult for Geelong early in this third quarter.
4-goal lead to Box Hill. Chasing their first premiership since 2001 and just their second ever in this competition. Magnificent grab by Walker, who's got 4 goals. He's clutched this one at halfback. He looks inboard. Thurlow was running for him. It's a dicey little kick. Wanganeen's been really good in the passages of play that he's been involved with, and that one was no exception. Half volley was made excellent by Retzlaff. Murphy's got a couple of goals. He might set this one up for Savage. Savage tries to pivot. He gives it to Retzlaff. Don't like him on the angle. He's dispossessed by Thurlow. Really well done by the Geelong defence, but they're under siege. Hall and Smith's kick. Kirsten has 3 to beat. Make that 4 as another one arrives. Ducking and weaving, the Hawks have all the answers at the moment. Walker drops the mark at centre half-back. Frenetic passage. You sense that if Box Hill get the next one, they'll have so much confidence. We're almost halfway through the third quarter. They're continuing to press. Ball just marches through these contests. Nobody's able to grab clean possession. And a ball up is probably the best result for everybody.
Yeah, it's similar to the start of the game. Box Hill Hawks are just winning a lot more contested ball, and a lot of that hard ball gets going their way.
Damien Carroll well aware of that, but they need to put it on the scoreboard. Taylor Hunt had a fresh air shot, and Sam Eyes has already kicked 1 goal from 50. He's not going to add to it, so the opportunities are going begging for the Box Hill Hawks. They've had a couple. They could have easily got it out beyond 5 goals. As it turns out, it's 25 points at the moment, but they've got the hammer down.
And what does Mitch Brown do? The last couple of times he's gone straight down the middle. He goes a little bit wide. They're not being as creative as they normally are, Reece, out of their back half.
Well, they're not being allowed to run and use their skills, and they're being put under severe pressure by Box Hill, which is what you'd expect in a grand final. 2-3
to no score so far in the 13 minutes of the third quarter. That's Box Hill's way. They lead at the moment by 25 points. It was 17 at quarter time after they exploded early. 10 points at halftime. And now with a long, long way to go, it's 25 points. Jed Anderson watches on. Throwing inside Box Hill's attacking zone. Segler pats it down, but Hartman is able to clear for the Cats.
And he's got a barrel going there, which has gone about 65 metres. Smets was the man in the contest with Kelly. Then he goes in and tries to lay the tackle. Duray comes back. Did nicely. Mopped it up to Litherland, to the 23rd player in Exxon, who has a little fumble, but he had Duray for support. He brushes the tackle, ran into his teammate, backed up, beep, 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 and then he kicked it out to O'Brien. And the umpire said a chop of the arms.
Fair enough.
O'Brien takes the kick right on the wing. Can Geelong minimise the damage, or can they get some goals of their own? They're not looking likely at the moment. Loudon again. Moves onto that left foot, pops it up in the air. It's falling short, and Simpkin playing in front was a weight to that eventuality. He was 2 metres in front of Taylor Hunt, and Simpkin can take the gap out beyond 5.
Just a good kick there by Loudon to put the ball into space and forced Simpkin to lead into it. That's a good kick. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt on that. It looked a bit awkward, the kick, but I will give him the benefit of the doubt, Darren Boyd.
15th disposal coming up against his old team, the best and fairest winner of Geelong in the VFL for the past 2 years, and he's made them pay. And things are getting decidedly worrying for Geelong, and the Box Hill Hawks may be heading towards a premiership in what could be a very big week for the Hawthorn Football Club, and it would be a big one for Box Hill as well. A lot of football still to be played though.
Well, there is, but the way things are going, and Box Hill are working very hard for each other. They're not allowing Geelong to play the game the style they like to play, which is to get the ball and run and carry and use their exquisite skills. And they're just being put under the pump and outworked by a very good Box Hill Hawks team.
Phil, that is now 4 unanswered goals. They've kicked the last 4 goals of the game, 3-0 in this third quarter.
Well, if games are symbolised by the particular players, Isles comes off, he's spent. Osborne comes off, he's spent. They get to the bench, they're full of energy, though, in terms of talking to players. They're standing up. The Geelong bench, by contrast, circumspect, anxious, unsure about which way they're going. The energy is with this side, Box Hill.
It's been so long since this Geelong side has been challenged like this. They've won 13 games in a row leading into this game, and they'd won them all by, well, they'd won most of them anyway, PD, by about 10 goals. They have just annihilated teams. It's different when you're in a fight, as they are today. Taylor Hunt does really well, but Anderson is just clawing at him. And now the cavalry arrives. Look at Angus Litherland. Hasn't been his best day, but he's still giving 100%. Tobin charges through, collects one, gives it to Osborne. Now Retzlaff's kick is superb. Dangerous for Simpkin. Murphy at the back. He could get it. Magnificent chase by Cam Erdley. The Geelong rookie listed player chased him down and saved a certain goal.
Well, if they're to get up and win this, they will look back at that moment, because it's already beyond 5 goals, and that has got to inspire his teammates. Cam Erdley, boundary throw in, Loudon in front of Howe. Horton Smith got a high one, umpire called it on. Selwood to Smets, Corrigan, Smets runs hard and darts through the middle of the Dockland Stadium. Good pressure on the kick from Isles. It comes to the back. Hartman goes to the ground. His opponent Kelly does not, and it was 3-on-1 anyway. And the Hawks are going to be able to work it out. The Liston Trophy winner in Hallahan spotted up the target in Grimley, who rides the bumper. Sully comes towards him. End-to-end stuff. It was nearly 50. West almost ran into the protected area. High ball, Savage caught amongst a lot of cats. Here's Tobin across to Locke, 30 metres out, and he sprayed it as well. They could have almost put it away in the last 5 minutes or so. Opportunities are going begging, and just at present, it's about the only thing that's keeping Geelong in the game.
Well, they should have put him away by now, but Smets going through the middle there. It just wasn't a great kick, and didn't give his teammate Hartman much opportunity. And the ball just rebounds so quick that these days you turn the ball over, it comes straight back.
16-4 inside 50s in this third quarter. Box Hill's way as West climbs high. It's 3 goals, 4-0. The Cats are on the ropes at the moment. Hall Smith, best on ground this day last year, is beaten by Taylor Duray. It's all going the Hawks' way. Isles has been superb. High kick, Loudon, 3 goals.
Too easy.
And he's already had 1 shot for goal, which was ungainly. He's had another one, which was a snap, which was superb early on.
Just watch this ball come in here, and just Geelong players standing around. You've got to make a contest. Someone has to put a body, a punch, something has to happen. You just don't let a big fella take a mark like that, uncontested.
And now the 22-year-old from the Sandy Dragons. He's been on the Hawthorn list for 5 years. He's played all but 2 games this year. And he was struck. In fact, he's played every game this year, Luke Loudon, and he's again a poor kick. 1 goal, 2 for him. 3 goals, 5 in the quarter. If Geelong ever get it over halfway, the way that he's been playing for this team this year, he'll be so creative, and he knows when to go at the contest and when to run off. Barham it is, who just kicks it to an opponent on that occasion. Mark Locke, who played in the VFL a few years ago for the Gold Coast Suns, prior to them being admitted to the AFL. He was actually their captain. And now here is the spare Mancini. I've just given him a rap. He's scrubbed a shocking kick, but such is the way the Box Hill are dominating this game. Litherland had an age to pick it up. Sam Isles, who of course was also at the Suns, chips it to Locke.
That was good from Litherland too, Darren. He didn't panic. Yep. Just waited for the ball, knew he had time.
Locke's kick is a long one. Almost took the mark of the year in the grand final. You have been some symmetry with David Wojcinski doing exactly that last year. But now the Cats have got it up to the wing. Cheney comes across. Here's his influence. They've managed to get a spear man down on the ground to the Cats. Schroeder gets it to Hartman. Now back to Schroeder. There's a certain goal here. If it sits for Corrigan, it doesn't sit for him, no. Phil's best man, Spanger, was able to come across and help him out. And so does Mirror. They're away again.
He just couldn't afford to go to ground there, Mark Corrigan, because he was out of the contest then. Exxon trying to hurt them on the turnaround.
And it just showed the Hawks, Box Hill, they just don't give up. They just chased. It looked like a foregone conclusion that Corrigan was going to get an easy goal, but they just chased and worked very hard, got numbers back.
Gerada Simpkin, he's got a man at the 50, and Xavier Murphy. What a wonderful kick. He's decided to play on. Wasn't the greatest of choices. Play on. No one's heard it. And so snapping around the corner is Redslab, and everyone just stood off him. We could hear the umpire, but apparently the players couldn't. Let's get down to Phil Cleary on the boundary line. They are hanging by a thread at the moment, the Cats, Phil.
And you talk about individual players and players who can make a big difference in a grand final. Cheney been fantastic. Isles fantastic. Osborne at critical moments they've all done, and Spanger another. They've all done something really special. That defensive stuff you're talking about, David Rees-Jones, been fantastic in their back half, haven't they?
And Litherland is looking composed again. Here's Hallahan, who punches one short to his skipper. Dave Mirror goes up to Osborne again. He's still got plenty of life in those old legs yet, Reese. Don't worry about that. Walker's trying to plug some holes down at half back. He needs to get forward because I'm not being critical of him, but the Cats need him up forward, Reese, because they've had just 3 goal kickers and he's got 4 of them.
Yeah, but the ball's not down there, and it's not getting down there in a hurry. And what Geelong needs is their midfield to start getting their hands on the ball, start working hard, start running the ball, start working for each other.
Burberry trying to do something of that ilk as he kicks it up in the direction of Schroeder, but there's that man Litherland again, who's been very solid in defence. Simpkins having a wonderful day against his old team. His kick wasn't great. O'Brien gathered it as though it was an easy ball to gather. Isles inside 50 to Segler. He gives it to Retzlaff, who's taken down a strong tackle. Umpire elected to call play on. He said the ball spilled free in the Trent West tackle. Here's Sheringham. Bangs it out of the danger zone. 2-on-1. Hall and Smith get some interference. Oh, they're going to be able to finally get the ball forward. Cats fans say about time. They're scoreless. Now there's a man out the other side. The kick needed to be precise. Well done by Taylor Duray. Rebounded to Gleeson. His handball wasn't great. Oh, hard head. Dom Gleeson led with his noggin, and it worked okay. Walker over the top of the football. Good defensive effort again by Box Hill as they locked the ball up and still prevent it from going inside the 50.
Well, that's just fantastic work by Taylor Duray just to get that spoil on. We see Dom Gleeson just bulldozing his way through, but Walker was out there. Walker was out there all on his own, and it's just the desperation that makes the difference.
Chance for Smets. It's touched on the line. Exxon, a kid playing just his 5th VFL game. Ryan Exxon. He didn't play in the preliminary final last week, and he saved a certain goal.
Just desperation again, and will to win. And these Box Hill Hawks have been magnificent.
Well, it doesn't matter whether you're the youngest player out there, Ryan Exxon, or the most experienced player out there. They've all bought into this race.
Well, it becomes infectious. That's what happens when players just work so hard for each other.
Oh, that's a scrubby old kick from Sam Isles. Gleeson goes to the ground, got the handball off to Corrigan just in time. Burberry had a fit of the fumbles. He had plenty of pressure around him. It's shoveled out the side door to Hall Smith, who tries to stand up in the tackle. Barham went without it. Murphy didn't. Hall Smith gathers the football, dragged it back in. Barham over the top of it, trying to fish it out. But again, the Box Hill pressure nullifies it. And the ball up will happen 55 out from Geelong's goal. We are deep in time on in the 3rd quarter of the grand final. The Hawks have made their move. Loudon, the man who tapped it down, in no small part effective in that. Gleeson's kick inside the 50. They simply must get a goal to buoy their confidence. Here's Schroeder from the angle, dribbling across the face of the goals. But the good thing for Geelong is, even though it missed, it's better than a behind because it stays up there. They can set it up and hope for the best.
33-point lead to the Box Hill Hawks. We've had long quarters so far, but they've been heavier scoring than this, so you sense that three-quarter time is bearing down upon us. Cheney is bearing down upon Smets, and there is the siren. The Box Hill Hawks have made their move, Peter Donegan. They have kicked 3 goals 6. They had 9 scoring shots. They dominated possession. They dominated the inside 50s. And Geelong were restricted to just 1 behind. And the Hawks have a potentially premiership-winning 33-point advantage at the last change.